About the important process of meiosis. Meiosis is a cellular division process that sexually reproduce. A diploid cell is a cell that contains two sets of chromosomes that will have 4 haploid cells at the end, which contain half the number of chromosomes as a diploid cell.
Concentric copy DNA also replicates forming duplicate chromosomes.
As I explained here, we have 2, they replicate, and after that, the process, meiosis 1 can begin. During meiosis 1, prophase is gonna come together or synapse into forming a tetrad. A tetrad would be a group of 4 chromatids, which would be and now crossing over can begin, as Jasmine will explain what crossing over is.
Created, the chromosomes can cross over, which is still part of prophase 1. When the homologous chromosomes cross over, they exchange genetic material that will determine a trait. A phase can occur in which the chromosomes line up across the equator and the spindle fibers connect to the homologous chromosomes in the centromere.
As I'm showing here, we have the centrioles all over here, which bring the spindle fibers to the chromosome. This is part of the cell. As you can see here, metaphase is taking place, and after all that is happening, and the spindle fibers connect to the centromere, which is the middle part of the chromosome, anaphase will move them towards, so we forget that, and they come. Like a drawing, but yeah. So now they're brought back in anaphase 2 by the two opposite poles of the cell. So cellular telekinesis can occur, and we're gonna have 2 different cells, and telophase and cytokinesis 2.
Telekinesis 1 separates the cell into 2 daughter cells.
And now, so that is over, meiosis 2 can begin, and since there's no DNA replication, interphase doesn't take place in meiosis 2. Although there's not a lot of things that occur in prophase 1 besides the centrioles that move to opposite poles. There's another centriole here that moves to opposite poles. So another cellular division can take place. Metaphase is the same thing. They're gonna line up across the equator of the cell, so they can be divided, and then they attach the spindle fibers. Now, Sharon's going to tell us what anaphase does in meiosis 2.
Chromatins of each pair strand separated by the centromere into opposite poles of the cell.
As Sharon was saying, we have the chromosomes and then the spindle fiber will bring to opposite poles, so we can now have divided. And then that's when Angel is going to tell us about how cytokinesis and telophase 2 will help have 4 haploid cells.
Telophase 2 separates the cells into 4 haploid cells, having half the amount of chromosomes as the diploid cell.
Important process because it ensures genetic diversity in cells during reproduction. We need mitosis as well to replicate and make copies of the cells so we could have more cells that we need. And meiosis needs to be in the process so we could have the diversity of cells in reproduction. Conclusion. Now we're done.